starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house, and today we're going to be exploring, of course, a Bitcoin, Ethereum, a Pulsechain market. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Going to look at a few charts as well. We're also going to be having a little discussion and listing out a few of the alpha projects launching on Pulsechain coming up as well. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys had a good time on Thanksgiving Day yesterday. I myself took a day off as well, so there we go. That's a rare event, but it happened. So yeah, I hope you guys had a great day with your family and friends on Thanksgiving's Day. Always good to give thanks. Very cool, and celebrate with your family and friends. All right, and of course history as well. Celebrate the history, founding of the country. I think was something like that in the United States. Now, obviously, we're in New Zealand, but you know we celebrate good things. So there we go. We've got Hexcavator in the house there. Hey gang, great to see you, Hexcavator. Big shout out. Welcome to the chat. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving there, good old Hexcavator. And we got, share the show around on X. That helps a lot too. Smash that. We got Manitoke in the house there. Good to join in. Great to see you, Manitoke. Welcome to the chat also. Yeah. All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into Bitcoin and see where that's going at the moment. We've got a few charts as well. I see the Bitcoin premium has just gone bullish on on the centralized exchanges, which means that institutions are coming back in after many months of no premium. So that's looking good for the old Christmas run that we're all looking forward to. It should be a lot of fun. All right, without further ado, let's pick up the chart here on Bitcoin. Actually, let's bring up CoinGecko first. We're going to talk about that. Almost went straight into the mega charts, but let's start off with the overview, as always, and then we'll zoom in on Bitcoin and a few Bitcoin charts and see how that's tracking, and also Ethereum. All right, let's go for gold here. So we've got the total market cap at the moment, 3.19 trillion, just down slightly today, 0.2%. And of course, that's still Friday evening, I guess, or afternoon in the United States. It's Saturday here, and it is midday. Well, it's just past midday here in New Zealand on the 29th of November. Yeah, good old New Zealand, the champions. We've got the market cap 3.19 trillion. We've got Bitcoin at the moment at 91,151. So that's good news, right? That's good news. That's setting us up really nice. So we've got to be pretty happy about that. Ethereum at the moment is up almost 1%, $3,041. So sticking over that 3,000 mark. Boy, way down from that 4,900 we used to be. So welcome to volatility, guys, in the markets. Will we get another liquidation event like we had on the 10th of October? And the market maker apparently getting a little wrecked, but looks like they may have recovered by now. So we've got Ethereum there at the moment, $3,042. XRP at number 4 is down 0.9%, $2.19. BNB at number 5, down 0.6% at $888.86, almost all eights there. Solana number 6 is down 2.2%, $138. Tron at number 8 is up 0.4% at 28 cents. We got number 10 is Doge, is down 1.3% at 15 cents. So that's kind of where we are with those at the moment. Let's scroll up here and see what the best performer is, I guess. Ethereum. Ethereum's the best performer last 24 hours, up 0.9%. Best performer over the last week is what? 10% on Ethereum. 11.7% is on XRP. So they're the best, but Ethereum not far behind at 10%. Not bad there. So there we go. XRP and Ethereum making the lead there. Now, we do know we've got a EIP upgrade for Ethereum coming up. I think it's, was it the 3rd of December, I think is coming up. And that's going to be a pretty big deal. So we might talk about that later on. But that is kind of cool. So let's have a quick look at the best performer in the top 100. Over the last week, we got Rain up 99%, almost 100%. Casper up 50%, Quant up 33%, Monero up to 23%, and Ethna there, or Ethna, is it? ENA up 21%. So, double-digit gains. It's a couple of them. So not bad for the week. Looking at the top 1,000, we've got Trezor, River, and Merlin Chain. Those are doing well. And then trending is Monad, Zcash, and Bitcoin. So there we go. There's your trendings. So that's pretty much it at the moment on the old CoinGecko. So yeah, there we go. Let's jump into Bitcoin and quickly zoom in on that. So Bitcoin here, obviously we had that death cross play out, and that played out pretty much around the 16th of November. And so we're playing out the second 2 weeks. So, we had obviously a down chart all the way through to the 22nd and actually through to the 25th. And then we've been recovering from there. So we got all the way back down to about $80,600. And we've, ratcheted up to 91,000. In fact, the high today has been 93,161. So crazy volatility in the old crypto market, even for Bitcoin, with all the institutions coming in. So we're up 13% from that bottom, but we were up about 15.6%. So nice little V-shaped recovery kind of happening here, and boding well for going into the end of the year. All right, so let's just scroll away from there and look at Bitcoin dominance. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. We've got a phone call here. Just let me mute this for a minute. Well, it's probably a first that I've had a phone call during the live stream. I kind of had to answer it, so there we go. Hope you guys not too deterred. But anyway, 91,000. We're over there at the moment. So let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance at the moment. Let's do that. And you can see here on the daily, we are up. So Bitcoin dominance has gained a bit more dominance here at 59.25%. And so we're tracking that for the big altcoin rally, right? So maybe this is the last hurrah before Bitcoin, before we get that rally on, right? That rally on into the end of the year and into 2026. So a little bit of a rise, and then let's go all the way down, and altcoin season game on. That's kind of what we're looking forward to there. All right, so plenty of time to play out. Now, I've got this going in through to July next year, but look, I'm pretty bullish, barring geopolitical risks. So that's the only the really main thing I can see is barring any geopolitical risks. I think we're going to get truly the golden age of America with Trump and all the investment that's gone in this year. It's going to really start paying off. And I think we've already seen little signs of it this year, at the end of this year, but around employment things. But I think actually 26, 27 is going to be absolutely amazing. I know we've got the midterms, but I just think the Democrats are getting so far left. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I think it's just they're going to get pushed left, and the majority is going to be held there for midterms. So apart from that, I think it's pretty much game on. It's just the golden age is about to hit us, so which is great. Enjoy it, and try and get as much out of it as you can, because you never know what's going to happen after that, right? You never know what's going to happen after, but certainly the next 2 years looking very incredible. All right, so that's the Bitcoin dominance right now. So we'll look for that to go in our favor in altcoin season. Bitcoin returns at the moment. Let's have a look at that. So Bitcoin returns is 17%. Up, down at the moment, 7% down. So remember, we were down about 23, 24%, if I remember rightly. So now we're down about 17%. We've got a couple of days to go. What's that, 2 days? Maybe 2 days to go for US time for that to finish. So yeah, not a great month. And certainly because of the liquidation event on the 10th, we had two major corrections. We didn't make it, basically. We didn't make it. And even Tom Lee's estimation was taken out by, well, it's arguably a black swan event. So that's pretty much it. So December now looking like it's our green hope for the end of the year, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right. Last year we could see in 2024 we also had green months into February, March, and so let's see if we can get a green December, January, February, March into next year at the very least. maybe even a longer run. We should see, but there's always profit taking in the market. So, hopefully we'll get a nice little zigzag parabolic up and to the right. All right, so that's kind of cool. We also saw today that gold is broken out on the TA, the technicals, to the upside. So it looks like the gold run's still going to keep running. And as you guys know, I've been very bullish about gold and silver, the commodities, as well as, of course, crypto. So yeah, game on. And stock market, of course, going to continue to rise on the AI boom, which is going to probably be a multi-year investment. But of course, that will have its ups and downs on the way. So that's kind of it at the moment on the old Bitcoin returns. So we're down 17% at the moment. Looking at Ethereum. So look at Ethereum here. This is on the daily as well. Now we had that death cross. That came a bit late after Bitcoin on the 24th. So that was almost 9 days later, I think it was, based on the Bitcoin chart. And we bottomed out here on the 21st of November. Got all the way down to about 2,600, which is pretty close to Tom Lee's 2,500 after that liquidation event on the 10th of October, and with the major market player affected. And so we've come back to just over 3,000, and today we've been as high as 3,100 almost. So nice little recovery there for Ethereum. And what a super cheap dip to get in on this. Tom Lee, of course, has been buying. That's now up 15.5%. And of course, we know Tom Lee's been buying here on the strategic ETH reserves, but Mine Immersion has been the consistent buyer. You can take a lot by what people say and what people do, not only in life, but in investments. And we've had a lot of these, these early players came in quite strong, SharpLink, Ether Machine, and many others. But show me the money. Where's the money? Well, the people that have been showing us the money is Bitmine Immersion consistently, as you can see, every week, just about buying a whole ton of Ethereum, and building that bag, building that position. That is a very strong, not only leadership but strong will. And these prices down at 2,600 is like a dream for Tom Lee. Right, Tom Lee sees the big picture and is fully committed, and that's he's going to come through just laughing himself to glory. Now we know Bitmine Immersion was down on the market, but actually that's just a short-term dip for the mad gains that's going to be held, right? So that is pretty cool. So BMNR, that is where we are right now. So they're about 60% of their target. They're looking forward to 6 million in the ETH purchases. They're at 3.63, and they've just been given a gift in the hand. All this liquidation events, everything else, just laughing. But good old, Tom Lee. Now Tom Lee's been buying, so we've got here some evidence of Tom Lee buying here on Hot Wallet. With the Hot Wallet here, another 20,000 ETH, but they've been doing several purchases down here at this price. They'll be scraping up as much money as they can to buy up as much Ethereum as they can, especially down here. Because they were buying, they were buying 35, 3,600, 3,700, 4,300, 4,200. I mean, they were buying all over the place, but they've definitely been able to pick up a lot of the dips on the way, even though, on that rate of 4,900, they've been able to pick up a lot of the pullbacks. So Tom Lee is laughing. I cannot say this enough himself. So, he's been on, CNBC and other programs, and they've been having him on going, oh, you're feeling the pressure, Tom, you're feeling the pressure. And he's just like, nah, we're buying more every time. And he just sort of chuckles to himself, and away they go. So 5% he's after, and of course he calls it the sovereign put, right? And of course that will have arguably a network effect as well. Having 5%, you become a significant player on the network there. So that is the Ethereum price right now. So 33,000, and of course we're expecting it to really go for its next run into the end of the year. And of course, what's the price target? Well, we think that after $5,000. It's going to be altcoin season for sure. We combine that Bitcoin dominance chart, and of course this Ethereum costing 5,000. Then we get that good old pattern, where Bitcoin runs, the Ethereum majors start to run like Ethereum and other chains, because Ethereum's got a lot more big narratives this time. It's got tokenization, Genius stablecoin, and all that sort of stuff going with it as well. Smart contracts and upgrades. It's got it all. So it's pretty much game on there. And so we should see this death cross fake out, not just be a short fake out, and then game on from there into the end of the year, next year. And of course, all that investment stuff that Trump's been doing, around 21 trillion, by the end of the year will all start playing out into next year. We already see some of that with the capital expensing and stuff like that from the tax bill that went through, 100% tax expensing for the first year. All that stuff is playing into the golden age of America. Of course, Trump has also moved quite a bit of his focus, he's shifted from the economic and the world, reorganizing the World Trade Order into domestic politics. So if you probably noticed quite a bit of that, moving to make cities safer, so make people more secure. And that's a big thing he's been doing. So we already knew that when he was going to go in, he was going to make the economy just absolute boom, the society safer. Remember, the Democrats and the Bidens were making it unsafe, intentionally, allowing criminals to run rife and do whatever they wanted while they were protected by Secret Service and big gated communities and things like that. So Trump is reversing all that for the American people to make them safer on the streets, and so he's going, doing that, and that's going to be something he's going to be probably focused on for some time. The other thing that we're expecting to see and have started to see is a lot of beautification of cities, new buildings, better logistics and all that sort of stuff. So that's all stuff that's going to play out in the next year or two. So that's kind of where we are on the old Ethereum. Looking not too bad. And of course, Tom Lee there buying up all as he can. That's all I can say. So that's a little bit of update around Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is looking pretty good. And so, yeah, we'll be looking forward to some of those other strategic reserves as well to start. Maybe they'll realize actually we should have kept buying the whole time through, and they will decide to catch up next year, which will absolutely even push the price even further. And Tom Lee will be even laughing even more. That's kind of the play there. All right. We're also, like I said earlier, we've got this Bitcoin premium now on centralized exchanges just today. I mean, it's just today crossed over, and it's the first time in months, and that means institutionals will flow as well. Obviously, we've got the government coming in by the end of the year with the Clarity Act, and if that goes through nice and smooth, then we'll probably see a lot more government investment as well. And we're waiting for the White House. What will they do around Bitcoin and the altcoin stockpile? And once we start seeing capital flow in there, this thing's going to run away like you won't believe. I'm telling you, it will be insanity, the amount of cash that will be flowing in at even a faster rate. So that's where we start getting some insane moves on these prices of Bitcoin and things like that. So pretty cool. All right, so that is the play. We're going to get into Pulsechain and talk about that a little bit. I did want to bring up one thing though, so let me just do that. Take a moment to pick that up, and let's go find it. Let's see here. We'll scroll back down a little bit. Let's go down. Just going to find it so we can talk about it. Talk about it, as we say. Let's see here. I think it's down here. There it is, the one. So before we get into the Pulsechain update, let's just go through this little posts and pick this up. But we're going to go to the small screen. All right, so how are we doing there? We're doing good. All right, so we've got the Fusaka is coming in December the 3rd. So I was right on the date there. That's only, about 5 days away. Ethereum's next major upgrade shows that the network can grow to meet global demand without compromising on decentralization or permissionlessness. Whether you're a user, builder, institutional operator, here's how Fusaka will impact you. So that is coming. Fusaka for Ethereum users. Fusaka brings Ethereum closer to the ease of consumer apps, faster, safer, and easier to use. Data scaling means near instant transactions. Mobile ready wallets will more cheaply support passkeys for secure logins using your phone's hardware. Fusaka for roll-ups and layer 2s. PeerDAS there, EIP 7594 will unlock up to 8 times the data throughput by validating data via sampling. For rollups, this means cheaper blob fees and more space to grow, plus lower fees for users, all while keeping the network decentralized. Fusaka for apps and DeFi builders. Fusaka lays the groundwork for instant feel user experiences. Based pre-confirmations allow for reduced transaction latency, moving from minutes to milliseconds. Combined with lower transaction costs, this opens the door for a new tier of usability. And of course, a note to devs there. Devs who rely on very large transactions should verify compatibility with the new per transaction gas limit of 2 to the power 24, and then you can check the specs on that. So pretty cool. Fusaka for node operators. Fusaka's upgrade grows capacity while keeping node ops sustainable. Fusaka increases the gas limit from 45 million to 60 million to expand throughput, while history expire enables lighter, cheaper node long term. And so that's pretty cool. So we've got that. Fusaka for enterprises. It will be easier to integrate blockchain infrastructure into existing corporate security standards. That's going to be cool. Plus, blob fee tuning makes fees more predictable. Fusaka is proof of dependable progress. 2 major upgrades in 1 year, evolving in public with no network downtime. And you can learn more about it there with that link. So that's pretty cool. All right, so that is some of the cool stuff there. From that, I'm going to post a link to this in the chat there if you guys want to, follow, read up the full document. But that is coming, and that's going to be pretty bullish. We'll see what comes into Pulsechain in the future from any of these upgrades as usual, what Richard decides to pull in or not. But that is there at the moment. So that is Fusaka coming on the 3rd. So that is also should be another catalyst for the end of the year run, right? So let's see if that just feeds the fuel as well on that one. All right, that's market updates. I just wanted to go through that. Let's get into Pulsechain now. Talk about Pulsechain. What day is it? Day 931. Can you believe it? Pretty crazy. Day 931. Let's go. All right. So Pulsechain was a full system stake fork or copy of Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023. It launched a few days later on the 30th of May 2023. We're now 931 days since then. And of course, Pulse is now at quadruple 196, down 3.7% today. Was up a little bit higher yesterday. And we're at 20%, just below 20% of the mean sacrifice price. The mean sacrifice being that there were a sacrifice for Pulse and Pulsex prior to the launch. Pulsex there, quadruple 125, down 5.1% at the moment, down at 12.5% of the mean sacrifice price. And we've got the the buy and burn on Pulsex, which was a relatively novel innovation there, is at 8.17% on Pulsex. Ink token at the moment, 71 cents, down 4%. And we're sitting on Hex at the moment, Hex on Pulsechain at least, 38 hundredths of a penny, down 4.25%. EHEX there down a little bit there too, to 12 hundredths of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PX is sitting just below 0.5% at 49 hundredths of a penny there, so almost 0.5%. So going to the bridge, let's have a look. No, going to the gas prices. Let's have a quick look at that. 231 beats, so it's pretty low. 2 cents for 2/10 of a penny for a Pulsex swap, and the validators there right now 52,316. A little similar to what we had the other day. Of course, I didn't stream yesterday, and the bridge is sitting at 82.8 million. So pretty much in the ballpark of where we've been recently. We were over 83 million 2 days ago, I think it was. So it's pretty close to that. So that's pretty much it on that one. Let's go to the markets, and we can see that we're at 6.4 million volume. And I guess it's still a weekday in the United States, so we'll still call this weekday volume. So we're still pretty low on Pulsechain, $6.4 million. We have got the ProveX sacrifice continuing, and of course we're expecting that to continue quite strongly at the very least to the 2nd of December, where we may have a D-Day there, and then maybe start to have the ability to breathe and rise in price into the rest of December, along with the rest of the market. Fingers crossed. So that's kind of the place there. Top performer at the moment is Willie the Whale. It's been around for about 27 days, and that's up about 200%. So I got a market maker there pumping that for some reason. Got a market maker just came in and pumped the heck out of that, didn't they? So 31k volume on 12k liquidity, and that is up at the moment. Meet Willie the Whale, the Lord Dorman of Whale Bay. There we go. So that is on the up right now. We've got P Tiger from the influencer Tiger Crypto God. He's that's up 25%, and he seems to have a pretty good crew because even though they had a little sell-off here back in November, 20th of November, they managed to rise up like the crypto tiger he is. So there we go. That is doing pretty well at the moment, and we'll see what they can do with that. Market cap 3.7 million. Not bad there for a rising influencer on the old Pulsechain. We got P Hen there, Pulsechain Hen or P Hen is up 24% there as well. One of the projects tied into Peacock, of course. We got Whale Bay along with Willie the Whale. That's been around for 9 months, and that's up 19%. So we'll have a look at the Whale Bay, kind of the parent token, I believe, from the looks of it. And this is the daily there, so that's getting pumped real nice too. Volumes coming, so some activity happening there. I'm not fully aware of what's all going on here, but that is in play. And they seem to have some sort of lottery operating as well based on this. Oh, okay, this is created by Humpback Holder. So Humpback, of course, is notorious token and ecosystem launcher. I believe you also launched Peacock, if I remember rightly, and a few others. So pretty major player in that token launcher. We've got, I think, I'm at least aware about 4 or 5 sort of teams that do token launches to various levels. What else do we got? The one. So we obviously got Previous Sacrifice at the moment. So we got this is B Roots and Ian Heinrich's vehicle. Now I don't endorse this one. I'm not particularly a big fan. They have sacrificed the ETH, however, so that's a positive. And 5% trading. The problem is that they have most of the coins at the start from the looks of it. So that's the problem I have with it. Not a fair game. I don't. We like fair games, but when games aren't that fair. So at the moment, 90k volume in that, 72k liquidity, and they've got I think a 5 or 6% tax there on this that ends up feeding the sacrifice volume, and they're sitting at number 2, which we'll look at in a minute. Is coming up. So that is that one. What else we got there? Loan token, liquid loans. That's up 4.4% at the moment, and of course they've been doing a great job going to conferences around the world. And liquidity is 77k. Obviously, that was the biggest sacrifice outside of Pulsechain and Pulsex was liquid loans, about $52 million. And people complain about the lack of liquidity. It's probably the one criticism, pretty big one. But other than that, they're doing a pretty good job spreading the word about Pulsechain, and they've launched all the protocols that they said they would launch, including Fetch Oracle and what's the other one? The other one is the multi-sig wallet as well, which I think it was called Pulsechain Vault or something like that. I can't remember exactly now. Pulsechain. Let me know in the chat if you guys remember, but that's out there too. What else? We got Peacock at number 9 and 10. So they're wrapping off our top 10. Peacock there on a little bit of a move, up 3%. Let's have a look. Now, obviously, they've delayed the railgun launch. They're going to have a staggered launch actually. So they were supposed to launch yesterday, but the devs needed a bit more time, and it's quite a lot of the ramp up's like 30 hours or something, 35 hours to ramp up. So now they're going to be ramping up over a matter of about a week. So that's coming up as well. We might check that out actually. That is Peacock, and it's at 1.1 cent right now. The high was about 2.9 cents a few weeks back. Let's have a look at the Peacock. I'm just trying to find where they had their update. They had I don't know how far back we have to go for this update that they had about their timeline. Scroll back, could be quite far down actually. Could be far down. Could be. Where's the ramp? Where's the rollout here? I don't have it saved, unfortunately. So sometimes they pin these things too. There it is here. All right. So Railgun release update. Good news. The Railgun contract and internal testing are complete. Everything's going well. We're now preparing to deploy. After months of development, our protocol contract has grown quite complex. And upgrading the contract across all supported assets takes about 6 hours. Once that is finished, we will roll out the new UI with Railgun Wallet. So not only with the Railgun, we're getting Railgun Wallet as well to have the the dresses that can be shielded and things. Transactions. Doing everything in a single push would require about 36 hours of non-stop coordination. That's quite a process. Which increases security risk during upgrades and deployment. To ensure safety and stability, we are spreading out the rollout across a safer timeline, updated timeline. So December the 1st. So that's coming up in 2 days or so, about 2 days. They're going to refactor smart contract release for all chains, including USDC and ETH pools, plus migration. Estimated maintenance window will be about 6 hours. On December the 1st there, from midnight through to 6 a.m. UTC. 2025. Now, originally they made a bit of a typo and they put 2026, which is, unfortunately not the best when you're kind of a market maker protocol. We got a Liberty swap will be in maintenance during this time, and the protocol will not be available for 6 hours. So it's obviously no service for bridging at that time. That might impact the markets a bit. We got December the 1st to the 3rd. So somewhere between there, they will deploy the deployment and testing of the new Railgun wallet UI and real product settings. So woohoo! And then the 7th there, the Railgun contract will be deployed on the 7th there. So that is coming up from the 1st to the 7th. So we're about 2 days away from the beginning of that rollout. So that is what's happening there. I think that was about it. Right, so that is the news there for Liberty Swap. I'm not sure if they had anything else. Yeah, they're selling coins that they get. I think that's pretty much it. Not sure if they've had anything else today. Yeah, I mean, you can go read their latest news, but that is the main stuff that they're doing at the moment. Yeah, so that's it. So let's move on. Bam. All right, so that's Peacock. It is up 3.4% at number 9 and 10 today. Let's get it back down. We got Zendog. Zendog's also tied into the old Peacock, and that is up 2.7% at the moment. Zero Trust is also tied to the Peacock. It's up 2.25%. So we've got quite a few projects that are tied into Peacock, including P-Tiger, and so they're all doing pretty well. And I guess then on top of that, we've got Whale and Willy. So we've got two little ecosystems plus the sacrifice pool there. Number 13 is UFO from P2C. That's up 1.8% there. BBC token from 9 inch is up 1%. And Love.io from Mr. Anderson. Yes, Mr. Anderson is slightly green there as well. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is slightly in the red, slightly out of the money, all the way down. So what's the worst? What is down the most today? Well, we've got this Anon pair. That's down 30%. SCADA is down 18% there. World's greatest PDI printer, which was the star yesterday and the day before, at least, or maybe not yesterday because I wasn't doing markets, but the day before for sure, at least 2 days, and that's down 12% today. What else? Vault 369, we're waiting for the launch for that, right? So that could be another heavyweight blue chip on Pulsechain. And, if we can have half a dozen of blue chips by the end of December, that'd be pretty cool. And I'm going to do a video on that, which ones I think qualify based on my assessments there. All right, we've got T-Shares in the house there. What's up, all? Good to see you, T-Shares. Welcome to the chat. So that is Vault. We're waiting for the launch for that. So we've got a couple of launches. So we talk about that. Yeah, let's do it. I just see time dividend down here is down 5% as well at the moment. So there we go. But what are some of the heavyweights who are coming up, right? So we got obviously Railgun coming with Railgun wallets. Presumably that may also enable Layer 0, which might help PDI and support the PDI ramping up to $1. So we might have that play out there. That's kind of a wild card there from Decentralize Me. So PDI is always going to $1, guys. Hey, look, I remain open-minded. I'm in neutral zone, but it makes you smile. PDI to $1. So that's kind of cool. And so they have been chosen. They have been given the benefit from Liberty Swap. So that goes in their favor. And of course, we get the arbitrage between chains going on, and maybe it might help ratchet it up with the imbalances, the presumable imbalances there to do that. So we'll see. So that's there. What else? I haven't gone through a lot of that stuff because that's a show by itself, just going through all that logic and stuff. But that's the basic idea. And so we got what did I say? We got Railgun coming. That's huge. That's massive for Pulsechain. I mean, come on, that's huge. Potentially also opens a route for the OA Richard Hart to bridge in a lot of crypto from Ethereum if he wanted to, right? Particularly if he's going to do some protocol like fractionalization or anything like that. It's ratchet up a Layer 0 PDI to $1. Who knows? But we'll find out. Lots of things that can be done there. ProveX, for example, supporting ProveX on Pulsechain. There's lots of things. Railgun opens up a lot of play. And not just Richard, but for many people that want, many large traders, for example, that want privacy, and that would open it up too. So that's kind of cool. Then we've also got Coinwell. We're expecting that to launch. That's pretty big from Rack and Michelle, our largest whale. And of course, he's a big venture capitalist, runs other business divisions as well. And so yeah, he's looking to coin well. And look, once he does it, he's going to want to make it win, right? These guys, they're winners and they want to be winners. And so this is a chance. He's been wanting to do this for many years. Couldn't do it because of the SEC, largely, I would say. And so now he is free to do it. And so yeah, we're going to see how big, how far his connections go. Into the Saudis, into potential White House, Donald Trump Jr., NASDAQ, all that sort of stuff. So his own private, client list, investor friends, all that sort of stuff come to bear. So there's lots of different things, and it is going to be multi-chain. So we're looking forward to it. We're excited about it, and we know that he's been wanting to get it up and running. And so far, what I've seen from a visual point of view, excellent, outstanding what I've seen so far. So, but expect it to be more corporate. Don't expect it to be, like another project on Pulsechain. He will be doing things to attract, trade fire money and stuff like that, and crypto from other chains, other communities that are more conservative, like the Bitcoin maxis and things like that. So just take note of all that. Don't expect too much from that point of view, but expect a beautiful site, and it is. They're looking really good. So CoinWell's coming. What's the other one? The Ape Coin or something like that is, I think, the rebranded Coinaki site. I think that's what it is because it's meme coins. But hopefully they got Battle of the Meme Coins or something similar to that on there. Battle of the Apes or something. I don't know, whatever. Battle of the Apes. But something like that would be really great because we can talk about that all day long, and that would maybe get all the meme coins going and be a natural marketing mechanism as people get more active and promote Pulsechain. So that's kind of there. And of course, Ms. Rochelle's involved with that. Triple Dad's involved with that. Looks like Mr. Wu is involved with that. So we've seen them on dinner photos as well. So we're excited about all that. So there we go. That's that one. CoinWell's coming. Then we've also got Tetra coming. So Stu has released a demo of the working of Tetra. Tetra is pretty frontier DeFi. In fact, it's very advanced, and so we're excited about that. And that could be. We're going to get the website up, and then the launch days for that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Following that, of course, we'll get Signum Oracle. So we'll have a second Oracle on Pulsechain. That's not a centralized Oracle. Teams are running centralized Oracles, but a decentralized Oracle. They have a second one, and that will be a competitor to Fetch Oracle, arguably, and therefore people can pick and choose. So that's kind of cool. So that's going to be really exciting. So those are very cool. And with Tetra, we may see a lot. We may even see influencers in that cover Tetra a lot more, particularly because they might be able to use it to do certain things. And Tetra is going to be interacting with blockchains and functions and all sorts of stuff, really democratizing the blockchain for people to use rather than you having to be a dev, in all cases. Now, obviously, if you're doing particularly advanced stuff outside of the node and connector system and the functions that are available, then you'll still have to use ChatGPT and everything else that the devs are using these days. But it's exciting. It's going to be good, guys. An example of use case would be like limit orders, doing your own limit orders, something like that. You could make something really fancy, all sorts of stuff, trading bots and I guess or trading algorithms potentially. So we'll see what sort of looping automation or anything else it's got, right? So that's kind of the play. What else? So that's coming up with Signum. And then, of course, Signum will open up potentially PUSD ALGO. And the good news, guys, PUSD ALGO could be the first decentralized algorithmic stablecoin in the world that actually works. And so we've seen it work on live beta about 2 years ago now. Ran for about 40 days, made a lot of money while it was doing it. I was pretty impressed with the amount of money it was making as well. So that could be pretty good. And that we're going to get an update early next week. So maybe Monday, Tuesday. Seems like early, fits the early definition. So that's coming from Jacob and a long time coming, which is excited. But I mean, he can only do so much because the market hasn't been very friendly. Of course, Pulsechain has been going down. ETH, the ETH was going up. So a lot of the money is sitting in ETH, the majority of it. And yesterday when I checked it, it was sitting at about 196,000 or so. Or 2 days ago I checked it, so it's maybe just over 200,000 now. Probably is my guess with the ETH price rebound. So that's pretty cool. And so when ETH was up at 4,900, I guess that was closer to like 380, 360 or something like that, $1,000, which is getting closer to what I think the minimum would be to launch. Once again, the two prerequisites for PUSD ALGO were from my point of view, was the Signum Oracle, because he wanted one that was not Fetch Oracle, that wasn't competing, because they've got a whole ton of Signum tokens as well. And number two is that they need adequate capital to set up all the LP pools, which I believe there was going to be at least 4. And so they need enough capital for that to run for a DeFi stablecoin. So you got to be, a decent amount of liquidity to kick it off, right? Even for a smaller version. So that's what they're waiting for there. But we know that they had been hired a new team by the end of last year or the beginning of this year to actually work on PUSD ALGO 2.0. Now, since that time, of course, the Genius Act went through, and we heard from Lil Birdie that they were making adjustments potentially to align up with that Genius Act. We don't know exactly what that means exactly, but we may very well find out at the beginning of next week. So that'd be huge as well. So think about a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about here at the moment. Is Railgun is going to be new to a proper working one. Obviously, there's a Railgun contract on there already on Pulsechain, but actually a working one with the bridge and everything else. Layer 0 is from LilySwap, so that's really a game changer for Pulsechain. Coinwell is a multi-chain offering. It's going to be a multi-chain DeFi ecosystem, so that's going to be pretty cool. And then we're going to have Tetra, which I understand is completely new technology and democratizing the blockchain for people. So that's on Pulsechain. And then Signum Oracle will be a solid Oracle on Pulsechain, our second one. And of course, then on top of that, we've got PUSD ALGO. Arguably could be the first proper algorithmic stablecoin subject to launching and those conditionalities. But we'll find out on Monday, Tuesday, perhaps, what the next steps are for that and what enablers are required. But Signum Oracle launches in December. Then that one's gone, right? And so maybe it's just collateral from there on. But maybe they've got something else up their sleeve as well, or a way they might do issuance and pools. We're going to find out. What sort of magical things has Jacob thought of in all this year. Obviously, he's a pretty smart guy. So that's pretty cool. We also know that Mafia will be going to Mafia game will be going towards its final stage to kill game. That can't be too far away. And then we've got also on-chain bet, decentralized crypto casino, and with the X game kind of paused or on the sidelines, we're not quite exactly sure what's happening there. Then that's opening up a no competition zone for on-chain bet, which is going to be a pretty large ecosystem, multi-chain as well for on-chain bet. So that's coming up too. Pretty cool. Now, we did see, I think yesterday or the day before, we saw Betterbank, obviously with the failure of its modified V3 fork, is look to launch a basic version of Aave. So that has been launched, I think, 2 days ago, and I think they're going to be, adding a few more features to that, and a few more pools to that or something. It had a pretty small launch when I saw it, but maybe it's still got a certain part of their following is going to participate. We'll see how that all goes. So that kind of got out there as well. That would make, what is that, our second Aave fork that's operating like a basic Aave, I think second one. The first one was from Fiat, the Fiat team, from Buckermendels on that. Been operating for several years. So that is some of the play there that's happening. Now, we also, obviously, we talked about Vault 369 coming from Fast Abdul, a really great surprise to the upside. So it was really good. We knew he was working on stuff, but that was a very pleasant surprise. A multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork, and as I understand, that would be the first in the world, based on my knowledge. And pretty exciting. So that's coming to the Pulsechain, and that's going to be launching soon as well. Tokens obviously tradable already, so we may see things run really well there. Some exciting stuff there. We know that a lot of teams working on a lot of other projects as well, but those are some of the heavyweights that I'm aware of that are coming up onto the Pulsechain. So keep a lookout for that. And many of those might be up, December. If not December, then one or two of them in January. So pretty cool. Pulsechain's got a lot to look forward to with those heavyweights coming. All right, so that gets us on to ProveX, which is Richard's own project, of course, around privacy and ZKP and all that. But here we are at the moment. We've got 4 minutes to go on day number 17. Can't believe it. Let's do a refresh. 4 minutes to go, and we're on day 17. This is good news, guys. This is good news because you know why? We only got 4 more days until D-Day, or 3 more days until D-Day. and then it's a sigh of relief for the rest of the market. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to have 4-day countdown. That's nothing. I mean, we'll get through this weekend, right? Through the weekend, 1, 2, Monday. I mean, we'll talk about mid next week, and we're through this sacrifice period. So yeah, but let's look at the results. So we're at $5.2 million after 17 days. We've got the rate at the moment is still $1 for 10,000 points, and we've still got the volume ranking bonus as well in play, right? So the top leaderboard at the moment, number one is the Prove X pool run by the Bunkermentals and the PH Universe team, and they've almost got $2.5 million. So pretty well done to them, and they're sitting on 62.6 billion points. Isn't it amazing? So we'll give them a clap for that. So this is a public pool that people can participate. They have a fee for a fee based on the volume bonus payable, which I think is something around 16% or something. They've got a pretty good reputation. They haven't been around for a long time, but they launched 4 protocols and they've operated pretty well. 4 heavyweight protocols, Balancer fork, Aave fork, a GMX fork, and of course a fatty wallet dashboard. So done pretty good for the chain. Now, number 2 at the moment is the $1 sacrifice from B Roots and Ian Heinisch, 2 large influencers on Pulsechain. They've got over 100,000 followers, and we've got they've got a multiplier of 2.03, whereas the Prevex pool has got 2.52. They're sitting on 1.4 billion points at $70,000, and of course they've got a vault that's filling up with the reflection token, which is 5 or 6% of the volume. So, and they're still doing decent volumes, so that's going to be added to in the future. Then we've got number 3 here. I'm not sure whose number 3 wallet is, but that is sitting at 64,000. They got just below 1.3 million. I'm not sure if that's Rack and Michelle or anything like that, but that is sitting there. And then we've got a couple other wallets, 3 over 50,000, 2 over 40,000, and then 2 here at 30,000. So getting the top 10, you need $32,700, and you'll get a multiplier of about 1.88 there if you at the moment. Now that's the top 10. Let's look at the total chains at the moment. So $3.9 million has gone through Ethereum. So out of that 5.2, 3.9. So what's that? About 1.3 is from other chains. And Pulsechain's gone over 100 million, over 1 million. So 1,061,000. Now that's been definitely spurred on by these 2 sacrifice pools. There's a third one that I'm aware of, but it's very small, so we won't bother talking about that. But that is sitting at 1,061,000. And then we got BSC at 78,000, Base at 52, Solana 41, Arbitrum 33, and then Bitcoin at 15. And Monero is not too far away from the Bitcoin, hasn't passed it by yet. So that's pretty much it at the moment on the chain. Now, I just want to make one more comment about the leaderboard. Is that even though $2.5 million has gone in from the Prevex pool, that's 2.5 out of 5.2. So what's that, about 48% or 47% or something of the pool, maybe 47% or something of the pool is from the top sacrificer, and there's 104 billion points. But if we look at the points, they got 62.6 because they got a 2.5 volume bonus. They've actually got 60% or so of the pool. So they might only have less than 50% of the dollars, but they've got over 60% of the pool points, which is pretty cool. That's the benefit of going in, right, into the big pool there. So that is the summary of that. I had one more thing to say about that, but let me think what that was. Coming into the last day, which is only 4 days away, this could be D-Day. This could be, the final bottom of Pulsechain. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Whether people, because the idea is that we'll get people go, I've been watching all this time for 21 days or 20 days, and I wanted to see what happened, and now I want to get in. I don't want to miss out on the base rate, the best rate, and so they sell down Pulsechain a little bit, and then they flood in there, right? And because we've seen Prevex do 2.5 million, and the top sacrifice there for $1 million, really the Pulsechain sacrifice started lifting up when the Prevex sacrifice pool started, got set up and running, right? So it has been a catalyst for Pulsechain, and of course you've got over $1 million at the very least, if not some of the Ethereum and other chains being rotated, particularly Base Chain, BSC, and Ethereum. And so you got over $1 million that could have gone into Pulsechain, could have been, instead of selling down, could have been pumped, just either staying stable or pumping the chain, depending on where it was sitting before. That will be over, right? They'll be largely over. So, D-Day is coming up on the 2nd. We'll see what that's like. Probability says that we will see a sell down on the Pulsechain, but maybe we get maybe buyers come in and do a counter move, right? And go, oh, you think you maybe they sell off in the first half of the day and then they buy it up towards the end of the day. We'll see. I mean, all sorts of shenanigans could go on. But then we get onto day 22, and so the rate starts going up by 6.25%, and then it doubles. So adds another 6.25%, etc. And it goes from $1.06 to $1.13, $1.20 by the day 24, etc. And what we've seen in previous sacrifices, we have seen a decent amount of sacrifice in the sort of the 3 to 5 days afterwards, because of the latecomers go, oh, I missed out on the day rate, but I'm going to go in now anyway because it's starting to creep up. It's still quite a good rate. It's still not too bad, so I'll go in. That's kind of the sort of thing, right? I'm making it sound funny, but that's kind of the thing that happens. And so we'll get a little bit of sacrifice into here, and then we'll start dying off, right? Once it gets maybe over $1.50, $1.60, we might see it all just start dying off, and it just becomes the late plebs that do a little bit here and there. It won't move markets too much. Then we get up to day 54, which is the 4th of January next year, and that's when the volume bonus, ranking bonus ends. And then we get the flat rate after that, right? The flat rate after that, which will be 75%, no volume bonus. And we could see the OA wallets coming in and snapping up all the supply, right? Snapping up all the supply and going into 85 to 95%, somewhere in there. Typically, I think we've seen about 87, 88%, but maybe they go a bit more. Maybe we go a bit more there. We might see some of that the ETH flow through, that's been hidden away. We shall see how it all plays out, guys. Because remember, you can't accept. Now, let's talk about wildcards. So suddenly, a wildcard would be taken pretty badly in some ways, because suddenly, let's say suddenly on one of these last days that Richard opened up Pulsechain assets, for example, you can sacrifice the cause. Or back at the end here, you can sacrifice the cause, or maybe in the flat rate, you can sacrifice the cause. So I mean, there's always wild cards that could come out, right? Because there's a sacrifice, no expectations, right? And so forth. Now, the other side of it, of course, is what happens to ProveX. Surely the technology exists already. It's a basic fork and modified fork, or whatever he's doing, right, with the ZK. Is he going to add any little tricks and sunkamentals? Sunkamentals, is that a new word? Sunkamentals. And so will it have like locking and staking, and even if you get your drop, it's locking and staking, and so maybe it's got some randomizer. Who knows what else could happen here in terms of supply syncing, because we know Richard's had experience watching Pulse and PulseX go, so maybe he does something like that. And there's all sorts of things, right, that could happen there. And of course, the argument would be that ProveX is going to be relatively low cap raise, and therefore it's easy to pump. Easy to do a 10,000x or whatever. Then people might argue, right? So we'll see how that all plays out. But certainly could be a beacon that's beyond Pulsechain, right? So it goes beyond Pulsechain. It's a multi-chain product, and we'll see how that plays into the whole thing, and maybe sucks a lot of value into Pulsechain over time, not just with the sacrifice, but over time through the fees and everything else and the usability. So that's kind of the play on that one. That's on the old ProveX. So we're up to 53 minutes. Who else have we got here? We've got Dinda in the house there. Good to join too. Good to see you, Dinda. And we've got Serge as well, reposted the stream. I appreciate that, Serge. Big shout out to you, as always. And we've got 87 in the house there. Good night, you all. Great stream as always, Superman. I appreciate that. Thanks, Rudolph there. All right. So that's kind of some of the thoughts there. At the moment, $5.2 million. We've just gone below. We got a 4-day countdown, guys. 3 days countdown to D-Day, the 2nd of December, and then it's game on. Now, remember, 2nd December is the end of the base rate, but remember by the 7th, we're getting the railgun ramping up through here, all the way through the 7th here, and it will be $1.35 for the base rate by the time we get there. And the 7th, that's when we'll have railgun operating. Fun times ahead, guys. Fun times. Yeah. It'd be pretty cool. Imagine if we see some ETH coming through on the railgun over the Pulsechain, and then it rotates into ProofX from there. There's all sorts of little side thoughts out at the moment, right? A little bit of side thoughts going on, which is pretty crazy. All right, so good times. Best info on the web, says Giza. Appreciate that. Big shout out, Giza. All right, so that is some of the cool stuff happening there. We'll keep a lookout. But I didn't talk about the wild card, right? Should we pull that up? Let's pull up the wild card. So we've got lots of wild cards, but here's the one that we know. Some of the others we're guessing, but this one here is Rack and Rochelle, right? So Rack and Rochelle has been teasing the heck out of this. Obviously, he's got to focus on Coinwell, but he's a big player, right? Big player, and let's see what he does. So he's been pushing out ProofX stuff, right? He's been pushing that out, but he's been teasing. He's been teasing, right? Been teasing about taking out the sacrifices there. Yeah, I love it. I love it too. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, he says the number one sacrifice pool needs to get a lot bigger. I'll be surprised if it survives the top 5 in the next 8 days. That was on the 25th, so that's 4 days ago. But yeah, we've got 3-4 day countdown now. Will he take out or his friends take out the top 5 spots? We shall see. We shall see. And of course, that would dramatically push down the rates for the leaderboard, including the big public sacrifice pool from Pulsechain at the moment, which is getting the whale price. Remember, this price is really the market price if you think about the whale price, and that doesn't mean it can't go below the whale price, the below cost. We've seen that for Pulse and PulseX, but it is still, that's where you have to, get break even. They get break even first, kind of thing. So that is interesting stuff. So yeah, fun times ahead for that. We'll see what he does and see what his mates do and all of his clients. That, because remember, they were the biggest sacrifice. I think they did well over 80 million, maybe $100 million on the old Pulsechain and Pulsex sacrifice. So if they bring even a fraction of that right now, they could take out even a 5%. They could take out quite comfortably the leader there, which is pretty cool. So not bad. Now I was going to show you this other site here. This is not to do with the ProofX sacrifice, but this is the Coin Mafia, which I believe is the new Coinarchy, but I'm not 100%. So don't hold me to that. But I love the marketing, really cool. And these guys are doing a fantastic job, surprising me to the upside. Now I knew they're good marketers, but this is really looking really good. So congratulations to Rackham and that. Some nice work there. Nice work. Hey, we got Queen Pooh in the house there. We posted the stream. Hey, thanks so much for that. Thank you for grinding on the daily, Superman. Hey, you're most welcome, Queen Pooh. Keep up the great work yourself as well. All right. So that's kind of the play there. We're 57 minutes into the live. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And that's probably the end of the show. But wait, we may have more. One moment. Let's see. The doorbell ring? Oh, it is. Who could it be? Who could it be? Indeed. I don't know. We'll find out.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a God giant green candle at any moment. Giant green candle. It's easier to get them because it's easier to get economic because it takes less economic for sale because there's less of it for sale.
So, Richard put that out earlier this year. And so the question beckons, will we see a gold mode candle in December? Will we see it after the 10th of January, at the end of the sacrifice? Will we see it a few months into next year when ETH has recovered and rallied, right? I would rather see ETH get over 5K at the very least before we see anything like that. But hey, look, he's got lots of ETH potentially. Maybe he's got over 1.1 million ETH in his bags. It's through the AA lobby, through ETH mining. Him like the AI lobby gets to be sacrifice money or AA lobby money. Depending, it's not really sacrifice money. AA money, and then you've got 171,000 plus ETH through the sacrifices. And then of course he was mining ETH in 2016. And then, of course, he's got his big Bitcoin bags. And he does seem like the sort of person that would have just diamond hand a lot of his crypto. He talks the way he talks, and I do believe that's probably what he's done. And, of course, he was mining Bitcoin way back, I believe, around about March 2011, one of the OG crypto miners these days. Yeah, let's see what happens. But game on. Coin Mafia, man. Looks cool, doesn't it? Yeah, excited. All right, I think that's it, guys. Will there be a God candle? Sometime. I mean, Richard's the one that said it. There could be. You just never know.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
Now, this might happen at a certain time in the market, and maybe it's from Richard, maybe it's from X Godwell. Who knows? We'll find out. But definitely, liquidity is so thin on Pulsechain that it's much easier to do now than just about ever. So we shall find out. We shall find out. And of course, a market maker could come in and create a whole ton of parabolics and do a little bit, maybe a mini version of what happened to Hex, maybe the same kind of thing what happened to Hex last bull market. But of course, we will see. We will find out. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on tomorrow's stream. Bye for now.